I think a big part of most people in the gold world argument is there's a finite amount of gold, but there's a lot of claims on it, but there's only so much physical gold that exists, right? But then there's the GLDs, there's the futures contracts that aren't really backed by gold, or you can't take delivery, the ETFs. So a lot of the argument is that when people scramble for gold, there's only so much actual physical that exists that'll push the price up a lot.
Yeah, it's
right?
going to go up. And of course, GLD, that is physical gold, because the GLD, the ETF, has to buy the actual gold in order to issue the shares. But yes, in the futures markets, there it's a whole different ballgame, because there you have people selling gold who don't have it.
Right.
And people are buying gold that don't actually want it. They never intend to take delivery. So you can have this paper market of basically gambling on the price of gold. But yes, a lot of the demand that might otherwise go into real gold ends up going into futures contracts, which is not buying any actual gold. But where the problem is going to set in, and maybe it's not a problem if you're long gold, it's an opportunity or a good thing, right? But at some point, a lot of the owners of these futures contracts are actually going to request delivery.
Yeah.
Because just because they don't do it now doesn't mean they won't in the future. And at some point, the longs are going to want delivery, and the shorts are going to get delivered a notice that says, yes, you need to deliver your gold. Now, the shorts don't have any gold.
Yeah.
So now they have to go into the market and actually buy it. Well, where are they going to get it?
Right.
And that's when you have a huge move up, and maybe even, a bankruptcy of the COMEX, or does it have to be bailed out, or, what's going to happen? Or the people who are requesting their gold going to be told you can't have it. You're going to get paid in cash, even though you requested physical delivery, it's not going to happen. So this could be an explosion of real buying of gold. And, there are a lot of people that own gold that, it's all manipulated and all the, the paper markets are keeping it down. Maybe so, but it can't go on forever.
Yeah.
And for me, if they are manipulating it, that means the price of gold is artificially low. That means it's a great buy, right? We're going to get paid, right? When was the last time gold was really artificially low? It was when the government controlled the price until 1971. It was fixed at $35 an ounce. And then Nixon devalued a couple times to about 42 before we went off the gold standard. But for years, the price of gold was artificially suppressed. But as soon as that stopped, gold went from, $40 to $850. Yeah. And so I think gold has been suppressed, whether it's an orchestrated plan to suppress it or just based on market forces of people just doing what they're doing. But you have a lot of activity that I think has suppressed the price of gold, but it won't go on forever. And eventually, market forces are going to overwhelm what's going on to keep the price of gold down, just like eventually overwhelmed the government's ability to keep the price down. And the price is going to find a real value. And it's going to be much, much higher than it is today, which is why people should own gold. Now, should they only own gold? No, I don't. I never tell people to only buy gold, but people should own gold. They should own some gold, and they should own gold stocks. I mean, these things are dirt cheap. I mean, if you want to look at what stocks can do, look at what gold stocks did in the 1970s. I mean, there were stocks that went up 50, 100-fold. That's going to happen again. All right, so people just have to be in these stocks. Do you have to have your whole portfolio? No, but have some money in these stocks. Most people today have no money in gold, and they have no money in gold stocks.
So using that same kind of analysis that we just applied to gold, that there's a limited amount of gold, but a lot of claims on it, and at some point when people call for delivery, it'll push the price up. If we do that same analysis on the dollar, there's only $4 trillion of base money. Everything else is loaned into existence. But we've got $50 or $60 trillion of dollar-based debts in the world. That doesn't include the unfunded liabilities. That doesn't include the derivatives. So if we do get into a deflationary scenario before the inflationary scenario comes, the stock market starts to crash, and we start into another 2008 type event, doesn't that start a daisy chain of claims on the only $4 trillion that exists? And won't, for a short period of time, won't the dollar have those same kind of characteristics that we just talked about?
No, because dollars, A, intrinsically have no value, but B, can be created into existence by the Fed. They could create dollars whenever they want.
But they won't do it until it gets strong, right? Well, if it's falling, why would they create more dollars?
Well, in order to prevent rates from rising and in order to bail out the government.